Today, we're going to dig into something you probably think you already know, how plants eat. But trust me, it is way more complex and honestly, way cooler than just soaking up a little sun. So let's get right into it.
So let me ask you this. Do you really think every single plant just sits there and gets its lunch delivered by the sun? I mean, that's the story we all learned back in school, right? But today, we are going to completely challenge that idea. We're going to uncover some of the plant kingdom's most surprising and sometimes even ruthless survival strategies.
At the most basic level, it all boils down to two different dinner plans. First, you have the autotrophs. Think of them as the self-feeders, the master chefs who cook their own meals from scratch. And then you've got the heterotrophs, the other feeders, who, well, they prefer to order takeout. Understanding these two groups is really the key to unlocking the rest of the story. So let's start with the one we all know, the classic, the OG of plant nutrition, photosynthesis. This is the world of those self-feeders, the autotrophs. Autotrophic nutrition is, well, pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the amazing ability of an organism, like most of the green plants you see every day, to be its own personal chef, creating food from the simplest stuff it can find. These guys are the ultimate producers in any ecosystem. I really like thinking about photosynthesis as a simple recipe. A plant just grabs some carbon dioxide from the air and pulls up water from the soil. Then it uses sunlight as its heat source and chlorophyll as the magic ingredient to cook everything up. The final dish? Simple sugars. That's the plant's food. And the best part, the byproduct is the oxygen that we all breathe. It's just a beautiful, elegant system. Okay, so that's the standard story. But what about the rebels of the plant world? The ones who decided, nah, I'm gonna find another way to get a meal. This is where things get really, really interesting. So welcome to the world of the heterotrophs. We're calling this section plants that get takeout because it's pretty simple. These plants don't cook for themselves. They have to rely on somebody else for their food. Basically, if you're a heterotroph, you can't make your own food. You've got to get it from other places, like other plants or even from animals. And within this group, plants have come up with three incredible strategies to get by. They can be parasitic, insectivorous, or symbiotic. And to make that even easier to remember, just think of them like this. You've got the thieves who steal from others. You've got the hunters who trap their own prey. And you've got the partners who work together with others so everyone wins. First up, let's talk about the thieves. Parasitic plants literally live on or even inside another plant, the host, and they steal the nutrients they need to survive. Now, some are just partial parasites, meaning they can still do a little photosynthesis on their own, but others are total parasites, completely dependent on their host for everything. And yeah, that's why some of them can be a huge problem for agriculture. So how do they pull off this heist? Well, they've got a secret weapon. It's called haustoria. These are these specially modified roots that actually penetrate the host plant. They act like tiny little straws, just siphoning off food and water directly. It's a highly effective and pretty sneaky form of theft. Next, let's meet the hunters. You've probably heard of these, the famous insect-eating or carnivorous plants. They've adapted to live in places with really nutrient-poor soil. So to get what they need, they've learned to lure, trap, and then consume insects to get all those valuable minerals they can't find in the ground. But hey, it's not all theft and hunting out there. Some plants figured out a much better way to live by forming these incredible partnerships where everybody comes out ahead. This is the fascinating world of symbiosis. And this table shows off some of those amazing partnerships. Take rhizobium, a bacteria that lives on the roots of legumes and gives them essential nitrogen. Or lichens, which aren't even a single organism. They're actually a team-up between an alga and a fungus, sharing food to survive in really tough places. And then you have mycoheterotrophs, these super clever plants that use fungi as a kind of middleman to get nutrients from decaying stuff. It's just true teamwork in action. So we've seen how plants make food and how they take it. But that brings up a really big question, right? What happens when all these plants and animals die? How do those valuable nutrients get back into the system? Well, that brings us to the final and absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle, the great recycling system.
Here's the core issue. Plants are constantly pulling nutrients out of the soil. If there was no way to put them back, the whole system would just run out of gas and grind to a halt.
And this is where our last group comes in to save the day, the decomposers, also known as saprophytes. These guys, like a lot of fungi and bacteria, have a really unique diet. They eat dead and decaying stuff.
They are literally nature's cleanup crew. And this is their most important job. By eating all that dead material, decomposers break it all down and release those essential nutrients right back into the soil, making them available for the next generation of plants. Without this constant recycling, ecosystems would just stop working. These decomposers are the true unsung heroes that keep the whole cycle of life going.
From sun worshippers to thieves, hunters, and partners, it's pretty clear the plant world is a ruthless and absolutely brilliant place. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden survival stories are out there, quietly unfolding in the forests and fields all around us?